Hey, welcome back. The last time we were here, we went over the first 5 ways to become a high value woman. Now we're going to finish up with the last six. The sixth way is to become self sufficient. Now, what that actually means is for you to be able to take care of yourself without any help. High value and high powered men love women that can take care of themselves specifically. And it doesn't only have to be in these areas, but definitely these areas show up, which is in your finances. Financially, can you take care of yourself without him, without you needing him? He understands that you want him. He understands that you need him in certain aspects of your life, but does it have to be financial? Now, as women, this one can be a touchy subject because we know that women like to feel stability, and that comes in the form of financial stability. It definitely comes in the protection stability as well, but all of it is encompassed into them feeling safe, them feeling stable, them feeling like they don't have to worry about how they're going to feed themselves or their child or children, or are they going to be able to maintain the house, the roof over their head, food coming in. So they don't want to really have to worry about the basics that we all need in order to survive. So high value women are women that are able to take care of themselves without outside help. Again, there may be times that you need outside help. And truth of the matter, while you're dating a high powered man, if you do need help, he should be the person that helps you out. Especially again, if you're married to him, but definitely if you're dating, as long as you guys have gotten to a point where you feel comfortable enough to ask for money. I'm not talking about the first time you meet or on the first couple dates, absolutely not. But I am talking about as long as the relationship has gotten established, you two are saying that you're a couple, you're trying to build the relationship to the next level, you should feel comfortable enough to ask the man for some money. But by and large, you should be able to take care of yourself. He doesn't want to feel like you only want him for his money. And truth be told, that has been a stereotype for decades. For decades about women only wanting men for their money and women being gold diggers in that way. Is that absolutely true across the board? Absolutely not. But again, it does happen, and it should be okay for you to ask for help. In this instance, financial help from the man that you are dating. It should be okay. The seventh way for you to become a high value woman is for you to know that your happiness comes from within. A lot of people believe that happiness comes from their partner, or their partner should actually give them happiness. And I'm actually happy to report that a lot of people are seeing through this farce, because what's really happening is people are understanding that happiness comes and starts from within. If you are a miserable person before you get into your relationship, and definitely before you get into your marriage, you will continue to find reasons to be a miserable woman after you get married or after you get into the relationship, right? So if you are a pessimistic person before, you will be a pessimistic person afterwards. So always looking for the worst in things or the downside of things as your initial reaction, it's not something that high powerful men are looking for. Again, a high valued woman knows that happiness starts with herself, comes from within, no matter what is going on that day. Listen, I am so happy and so optimistic. And I understand that there are things that I should be even more pessimistic about, but that's just not my nature. I really do see the good in everything, or I can find the good in everything. And let's be real, because I have joy, which is deeper than happiness, I can find things to laugh about and have fun, even if I'm literally going through it that day, that hour. I can find something to laugh about. I can find something where I can see the good in things. And this is what high value women are able to do without being prompted. Most of the time, most people cannot see the irritation, the frustration, me being angry or upset, because I don't showcase it to the world. I literally had my clients do an exercise, but I also partook in this exercise. And the exercise was this: instead of venting to everybody that you know about a particular subject, because really what you're trying to do is get somebody on your side. But instead of doing that to everybody that you come in contact with that day after that incident has happened, whether it's with your spouse or partner, whether it's with a coworker, whether it's with your sibling or your parent or whomever, a friend, doesn't matter. What I had them do and what I also did was to choose two people that will now become your vent life support. Your vent life support, meaning these are the two people that will hear about your woes the most. It doesn't mean that you won't have any woes that you won't share with anybody else. But by and large, the frustration, the venting, the things that you are getting out of your system, those two people hear it. Now, it goes a little bit deeper because you want to ask permission to do this and be that person, because it can be overwhelming and it can be like, I'm not answering the phone today from this person because I just don't want to deal with it. But if you ask, can they be your vent partner, where literally they are listening to problems, but that's not the only thing they're doing. They're listening to the positivity, but when you need somebody to hear you out, whatever the frustration is, those are the people that you go to. And I also say too, because one may not be available. And honestly, both of them may not be available when you need them. But you have a higher probability of one, at least one of them being available when you need to get that stuff out. So high value women have people that they vent to. They just don't do it to the world. And so because of that, what you really see is the happy-go-lucky person the majority of the time. So it doesn't mean that high value women don't have down days. We do. We have down days just like everybody else. We just don't showcase into the world. We know that life goes on. We know that time is not stopping because we're having a bad day, a bad moment, a bad situation, whether it's in our relationship or on the job or whatever the heck it is. We know that we still got to show up. We still got to perform. Life doesn't stop. That's including but not limited to even when someone passes in your family, whether it is a spouse, whether it is your child, whether it is your parent or parents or anybody else. We still got to show up. You still have to show up, and you don't take it out on the world. High value women do not take their frustrations out on the world because we understand that the world didn't do the deed. And sometimes it's just a natural progression in life. The eighth way for you to become a high valued woman is being open minded. And this is being open minded specifically when it comes to other people's opinions. High value women don't necessarily agree with everything that comes out of other people's mouths, including but not limited to the partner or spouse. Doesn't mean that you agree with everything that they say, but we recognize that in order to get a better understanding of the other person that we are across the table from, whomever that person is, we have to be able to try to understand their viewpoint, try to understand their perspective, try to understand where they're coming from, because this is how you know and, as I just mentioned, understand the other person. You have to be willing to broaden your mind and ask more questions. Becoming a more curious person is what sets you apart from somebody else. Just because you're asking curious questions about a particular topic that you may or may not agree with does not mean that you have to become irate and disrespectful, shut the other person down, make mocking noises and or statements in order to make them feel bad about their opinion. Because here's the thing, when you open up your mind, when you open up your ears, you may be open up to a new idea, something that never crossed your mind. Again, it doesn't mean that you have to agree with it, but it does show that you can have an open conversation, a deeper conversation, and be respectful. And here's the thing, when I do this, most people don't realize or even understand whether I agree or disagree because I don't say it, because it really doesn't matter. What I am trying to do is be respectful and give them the opportunity to feel like they are heard, to feel like they are understood, to feel like what they're saying matters, because it does. And high value women know how to do this really well without having to say, I agree or I disagree. Because the truth of the matter is, it doesn't really matter about my opinion, but it does matter that I can listen. It does matter that I make the other person feel like what they're saying matters, because it does, but also because the other person matters as my friend, as my spouse or partner, as my child or children, whomever you're speaking to. You can have an intelligent conversation. And when you don't understand or when you do not agree, just ask more questions. Ask more questions. The ninth way that you become a high valued woman is to understand. Listen, please hear this one. High value women protect their peace. They protect their peace of mind. They protect their environment to be peaceful. They protect their circle that surrounds them. And if those people are not bringing peace, they disconnect real quick, real quick, because the drama is not something that they want to be a part of. It's not something that they find entertaining. They have bigger and better things to do than to sit there and argue with you or be amongst conversations and or people and in environments that disrupt their peace. If I am a peacemaker, I want people that are also peacemakers in my circle and around me, and that will influence me. Because cliche as it is, you've heard the saying before that you become like the five people that you hang around the most. Even if you don't believe it, at some point, some mannerisms, some phrases that the other person use, you will begin to use them because you're always around them. You're always hearing them. So whether you believe that they're influencing you or not, they are. So if you're talking about a lot of ratchet stuff all the time, at some point, even if I don't agree with it, at some point, I'm going to be talking about ratchet stuff too. It's just the way that it goes. Those people that you are allowing to influence you will begin to influence you, and you will pick up phrases and mannerisms. You will become more like them the more you hang around them. So if you don't want to pick up said traits, if you want your environment to be more peaceful than toxic, you have to make choices to become that way, because you are co-creating your life. So why not create and protect your peace? It does not matter if the person is your family member. I know that we have like, oh, the person is my mom, the person is my dad, the person is my sister. I see him at the. I get it. But if you are not a child that is living under the person's roof, then you have a choice to be around them or not. I'm not saying cut them off forever, but what I am saying is maybe instead of going to the Thanksgiving dinner and being there all day, where you have to deal with certain attitudes and toxicity and maybe even getting into arguments. And listen, be real, sometimes fights, you could say to yourself or to your significant other or whomever, I'm going to go, or we're going to go for 3 hours. We're going to have a wonderful time for those 3 hours. We are going to connect with the family, and then we are getting out of there. Not that you didn't go, not that you didn't put in time. It's just you already know that something's going to pop off that you don't want to be a part of. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you never have to be around a person, but you absolutely can limit the time that you're around. You can limit how much access people have to you. And this is specifically for those family members and family dinners and, when the holidays come around. You can opt not to go at all, but if you feel like you must go, then find ways to protect your peace. You go. Hopefully there's no drama in the time frame that you chose, but if there is, now you can come up with something else right after so you can get back into alignment with your peace. That might literally just be going to take a long walk, going to the park with your child or children, going home to put together a puzzle, like whatever the thing is. They don't have to be privy to what your next thing is. Although it's a polite thing, but it's not a must. So with that being said, the point of that is go, have fun, converse, connect, move on with your life. That's the point. Protect your peace. And high value women do that unapologetically. You don't have to be apologetic about your peace. The ninth way that you can become a high valued woman. Oh, actually, we're number 8. I said 9. We're number 8. Be open minded about others. Be open minded. This means not automatically putting somebody in a box because of their initial appearance or the first time that you two are having said conversation. And I know that that is a hard thing to do, but high value women find ways to be open minded to other people outside of the community or just people outside of it could be an organization. The person is not a part of the organization, so you want to be open-minded to allow that person in. They may not talk about the things that you want to talk about, but because you want to be inclusive, you may just invite them into the conversation. So just being open-minded about other people that maybe not even look like you, but also don't speak necessarily the same language as you. And it doesn't mean English to English. It just means that they have different conversations that you're not necessarily used to having or that you've never even thought of. So just being open-minded to allow other people into your world. And it could just be for a period of time. It doesn't have to be for a lifetime. It could be a fair weather person that comes along for a season and then they are gone. And whatever they brought to the table, whatever lesson they're bringing to you, you can utilize that lesson, use it later on, understand what happened, become aware so you don't go down that road, especially if it's something bad ever again. Or now you take said information and now you're able to utilize it in your own life, in your own experiences, and share it with somebody else to help them out. Because I firmly believe that our experiences, the things that we go through in our life, really is not for us in this moment. It is for us to help somebody else that goes through that same thing, but also so they know that they are not alone later on in life. And maybe they can look to you as a mentor or someone that can just help them get through and get on the other side, because you've been there, done that, and know that it can and is possible to get on the other side. So be more open-minded to other people. The ninth way to become a high value woman is to understand that you value your peace, and it's your peace of mind. I know that we talked about protecting your peace before, but this literally is your peace of mind. This is what are you allowing to come in, meaning what you are reading, what you are listening to, what you are watching, the conversations that you are engaging in. Now, reading. Are you reading something that's going to make you better? I'm not saying that you can never read other things like fictional stories, romance novels, or anything like that. Nope, not saying that you cannot. However, if what you are reading is always toxic, you're going to start becoming toxic, because what it's actually doing is becoming normal for you. The things that you're listening to becomes normal for you. It becomes normal. So you want to protect your peace in the things that you are reading. This could be audiobooks as well, but that's also listening. So it could be the books that you're listening to. I just mentioned the audiobooks, but it could also be the movies that you're watching, the music that you are listening to, the podcasts that you're listening to. So everything that you are allowing to seep into your brain, to seep into your ears, to seep into your environment and in your space makes a difference. Protect your mind. Protect your mind. Protect your peace of mind because it absolutely makes a difference. And high value women know, and really, they don't really have time because they're so involved in so many different things because they're trying to make a difference in not only their life but also their child or children's life, their family life, and then it goes deeper than that, like generational. They're trying to make a huge difference. And if you have a lot of toxicity that's always coming in here, there is no way that you're going to be able to concentrate on the bigger picture, helping more and more people, including but not limited to making more money in order to help more people. You have to be able to protect your peace of mind, all of the things that are coming in or have a tendency to come in. If you don't have filters or limiting yourself, your mind, your ears in those spaces, then you will not be able to make a huge impact like you feel that you want to or even need to. The 10th way to become a high value woman is to understand and be open to correction and or constructive criticism. High value women understand that they do not know everything. So when they go to others for their opinion, they know that they are already going to somebody who is open minded enough to be and have an opinion that is going to correct them, but correct them in a loving way, not someone that is going to be judgmental or make them feel bad, but just point out different things that they can think about. Whether they agree or disagree doesn't matter. What a high value woman is looking for in a mentor or another high value person is for them to be able to not be a yes person. Because high value people, this is men and women at this point, and what we deem as successful people, those people are used to yes men, yes women. A lot of people in their circle, on their team, say yes a lot, and not many people go against the grain for fear of whatever. It could be losing their job. Let's just go with that, right? So we have these high value people have people around them that could be scared about voicing their real opinion about things because of the financial or the kickback in some way. And so in order to stop doing that, now a high value woman in this case has to go to a higher person that they see is even higher than them value person to mentor them to get the real from them so they're not just yes people around them. They are very open to criticism, constructive criticism and or correction, but they know that they have to get it from the right person. Not just anybody can correct a high value woman or man because they know what they're bringing to the table and they have to go to somebody else that they feel is higher than them on the totem pole and then get it from somebody who is not intimidated or fearful in some way of him, of her. So they're open to correction. They're open to criticism. They just know they got to go and get it outside of their circle. The 11th way to become a high value woman is to spread positivity. High value women understand that they don't have to be intimidated by telling another woman that she looks good, that you're dressed to the nines, you look fine, you look sexy, girl, you got it going on, your hair is flawless, your makeup. Don't have a problem with spreading positivity. This doesn't just stop right here at the physical. It could be in your career, like publicly announcing to somebody else that you did a wonderful job at the team meeting, say, for instance. They're okay with spreading positivity because what they understand is if they're giving positivity, they know that they will receive positivity. But it also doesn't mean that they're going to get it from the person that they gave it to. And when you do this with your team members, you have a tendency to have more loyal team members They stay around a lot longer and they even perform better. That's a different topic. So I'm going to jump to the 12th way to become a high valued woman is to continuously learn. High value women know that we do not know everything, as I just mentioned. And because we don't know everything, we know that we have to keep learning so we can get better and better and better and wiser and wiser and wiser and be able to have conversations about things that we have no idea about. The only way to get said information is to continuously learn. So this may be through some courses that we're taking. It could just be reading the books, right? Make sure that you're taking the action. So the action may be in the workbook. So you have the book, right? You just read the book, but now you get the workbook to the book. So the complementary workbook to the book. And now you actually do all of these steps within the workbook. Got to keep taking actions, got to keep learning, got to keep implementing. And then you're teaching, i.e., passing down the information to your family, your friends, your children, your team, etc. Because high value women want other high value women around them and in their circle. And one of the ways to do that is for you